storage facility between the two that are existing now. And he's requested another extension on his site plan approved. They're hoping to, he's saying we intend to commence construction in the spring of 2026. Therefore, an extension is requested through May 14th. I'll make a motion that we approve the extension.
Right now, approve the agenda.
Oh, the agenda, that's
Sorry,
right. Sorry.
You just want to add that to the.
Yeah, I just want to add that to the
That's
agenda.
number something, 9, 10, 9. Maybe
8C.
7B. New business, or you say old business.
Yeah, we just put under new business.
What's that?
B.
Brad, is yours not working? Oh, okay.
We need a
I
motion.
thought I saw you press the button. And I didn't.
You want to approve, make a motion to approve the agenda with the changes? I'll make that motion.
Second by Val. Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The next part of our meeting is we open up to public comments. If anyone in the audience have anything they would like to discuss or let us know. Nothing?
I'm Teresa Korn over on Kennedy Trail right behind you here. I'm here to just learn about STRs. What are you guys doing? What have you done? But it's on the agenda, so I'll wait until then.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you.
Okay, nothing else, we'll move on. Everybody had a chance to look at the minutes from our last meeting, September 11th. Any additions or changes to those minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Jim.
He can still hold it.
I thought I could, but I'll give you guys a chance. Okay, any further discussion? Meeting none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Okay, master plan update. You've all seen the survey. I haven't seen the final one, but well, supposedly it's now available on the website.
There's the link to their, that survey that Brian will have on the township website tomorrow. There's also the conversation I had with Maya was that they're doing postcards, they'll have a QR code on it that are getting mailed. And in addition to that, that full survey is gonna be included in everybody's tax bill on December 1st when they go out. And so you can either do it electronically or you can do it in writing if you want and mail it in. So it could be multiple ways. There's no reason why anybody should say, well, they didn't have the opportunity, because it's linked on our website. It's on the county's postcard, getting mailed to every property, plus it's gonna be inside everybody's tax bill.
And they can drop them off at the township.
It's got, I think it has instructions on where to send it on that. I can't remember.
If they wanted to drop it off.
If they got them to my office or somebody here, it'll get to where it's gotta go.
And they can just take a picture of that code and use the body.
On the postcard, there's a QR code that'll take you right to the site,
Right online,
the survey site, and it's right there, you can fill it out.
that's perfect. That's the meaning.
Well, what they're planning to do is close the survey on January 9th. They'll review the results at the January planning commission meeting. That's January.
They want to hold it on the ninth and have it evaluated by the 11th.
Yeah, probably tabulating more than, for us to review and the results and so forth. It'd be January 8th, next meeting.
Very nice. You said, but the results are gonna be closed on the 9th, so they won't be able to see them until then.
Good point. I just looked at. Right.
But we haven't set the agenda yet, and we could, that might be a thing, or maybe we do it on the 15th or something. We can talk that at the end.
We'll get with them and just tell them they need to.
Yeah, but I mean, the agenda stuff here, so we can adjust that for the first month.
Right.
Stuff too, so that's something that we talk about later.
Okay. Yeah, good catch. But they're also going to, regarding the existing conditions and analysis and mapping. They will provide existing condition maps as well as a summary of the most recently available census data for the township. These are our next steps. We will provide key findings and analysis as to how that data could inform the master plan. They were concerned a little bit if the census data might not be available due to the government shutdown and not being able to access data. It sounds like that shouldn't be an issue. The team's still planning to use the 2024 American Community Survey, which was scheduled to be released December 15th of this year. And again, they don't anticipate a delay, but it's possible. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. One of the things they wanted us to look at is promoting the survey, talk it up. At any kind of meeting or any group gathering. Press how important it is to fill it out and get it back to us. You're gonna post a link to the survey on the website.
It's been posted tomorrow, Brian told me. If not, we had, unless you did it today, but I think it would be tomorrow. And I can also get Mary Ann to put it out on the board. So that it's out on the billboard.
They suggest that we publish a link of the survey in the newspaper. Wouldn't hurt.
No. Are you asking me to do that?
No, I just mentioned it because you're the liaison.
Yeah, I mean, you want,
That's something that you can do that in paper via with the minutes of the township board.
there you go.
Yeah, and so you stood there.
I'll talk to the clerk and I'll get both Mary Ann to put it on the board out here. And I'll talk to Clerk Squires and see about getting that QR thing
Right.
put on the,
Put right on there.
yeah.
Back to the question.
In 2 years.
Is that possible?
I think back to the right question.
Oh, right.
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Okay, my microphone has been muted since I got on, and it said that the host has muted your microphone, and I tried to chat and I haven't been able to do that. I also asked that the camera be added, but I just wondered if they could maybe do that now.
I fixed the microphone problem. I accidentally checked the wrong host tool. I'm unable to turn your camera on.
So I can't use the camera from my end, is what you're saying.
Correct. We're not allowed to see your face.
I mean, this hasn't been how this was conducted in the past, so I just thought it was unusual.
It's a security issue that we implemented quite a ways back.
I was there.
That's not new.
Yes, those things do happen. Yeah, just a clarification, is that a township?
That was a township decision, correct? That was not a red line decision.
When was that made?
I couldn't give you an exact date. I wasn't working for the company at that time.
It's been a while, Greg.
Uh-huh. All right, thank you.
Did you have anything you wanted to add to the discussion?
I really don't have anything right now, thank you.
Okay, great. Glad to have you. The project schedule, you should all have a copy of that in your package, but just, to reiterate, November, December, it's identify, quantify, and analyze. So they're gonna be gathering the census data, the survey data, and so forth. And, January, we'll have our meeting, review that stuff, and then we start kicking off the public participation and community outreach. Which is basically what the survey is all about. And then, in January, February is gonna be future land use and implementation plan. So just, if you're ever wondering where we're at in the process, go back to that. That give you an idea of what's coming up. And they go into more detail if you look in the pages of the plan.
Do you happen to have an extra package? Because I think you guys distributed last week, not there.
I do. I can, you want me to just email it to you?
Sure.
Okay, we just do that. I don't have it with me. Maybe you want to do that.
Was that?
Well, it with me at the end of
Was that included in the email before?
the survey.
Or no, the packet?
Yeah,
You want? Okay.
Yeah.
If it wasn't, I was gonna ask it just for the record, just.
No, you should have it.
Yeah. Here.
he wasn't here, so. Yeah. I got it through him, so after the meeting, I'll.
Right, yeah, they gave a hard copy, I think, at the meeting. In addition to.
Anybody got any questions on where we're at in the master plan process?
What month did we start this officially, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna say when we signed the contract, which was August. I mean, we've been talking about it a little bit, but
Right, is it,
we basically contracted with them.
they try and get it done within 12-month period, correct?
Yeah, we're looking at the final draft would be ready for adoption and all that in July. There's certain timelines that you have to. And there's a 63-day review period. And that starts in May. So that's, it takes us up to July for that period's over.
Thank you.
Everybody good?
Yeah.
Short-term rental ordinance update.
I can do that.
Yeah, I figured you would.
So, this has been, we did the first, and this is, I'm gonna do a little history.
Thank
if
you,
didn't
I appreciate it.
Have that. The planning commission was tasked with drafting that, which it did. And, that was finalized as far as from this perspective to the township board this spring. The township board, spent a few months reviewing it, made some proposed changes. They got put to the attorney to be reviewed. The attorney has had it now for almost 2 months. He's been sidetracked because of some other issues he's been working on for us. The supervisor and I are meeting with him on the 18th next week to get his final perspective on that draft. That'll then come back to the township board, and at that point, if we're gonna make any additional proposed changes, we'll do that. And then we're gonna start to have a public hearing to get input from the public. Now, under the Police Act ordinance that this will be going under, we're not required to have that public hearing. But we felt that it's important that we get perspective of, you know, the input of public. A lot of people come and talk to us at board meetings, but this will make it, we'll have the draft out, you'll be able to see it, know what's in it, and then we'll go from there. But that, I can tell you my perspective, and I'm only one of 5 people. We'd like to have it implemented by April 1st. And, you know, roll out the whole requirements as far as getting a license at that time. We'll see how it works out through the winter. But that's the intention, I think, of the board. That answer all your questions?
Is the attorney Scott Hess?
Yes.
Okay, and is it too late for input from the public? I mean,
No.
to suggestions?
We're not at the public input stage yet. That is coming.
Okay, if the public had input, would you deem beneficial to this ordinance or these regulations that you're putting? Is it too late to edit those? I mean,
No.
would you be able
The
to?
purpose of that public hearing, or it may be 2 of them, is to allow enough time to get the, if we get an overwhelming number of people come in with a perspective on some part of that they feel is either needs to be added or taken away or whatever. And that is the intent of having that public hearing.
Okay, thank you.
So you'll have your opportunity to speak and have the board consider whatever you're thinking.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Jim, is after you have that meeting with Scott Hess on the 18th. And you have something ready to go, are you gonna do a release to the public or to let people get a chance to review it or?
I'm gonna tell you, again, this is my perspective, because it's only be 2 board members meeting with them, because we can't have it.
Sure.
If he comes back and Scott says, I'm good with this, I suspect that Brian will say, let's put that out to the public so they can see it and start taking in, you know, information. If he comes back and has substantial changes that he thinks need to be made or added, then we may have to have a special meeting to talk about it before we put it out to the public. Because I can't, Brian can't make arbitrary changes to that draft without the board considering. So we may have to have a special meeting if that happens, or wait all the way till December's work session, which, you know, is.
It'll be tight to get it done by.
Yeah, we get, you know, December's tough, so if we know the clock is ticking, so we're, you know, I know if we want to implement that on April 1st, working backwards, we gotta get cracking with this thing.
Mhm.
So I'll know better Tuesday afternoon,
Okay.
and that's about all I can say on it, but we definitely are gonna take public input. You're welcome. Anything else on that?
No, I think you covered it pretty much.
You guys have seen that last draft, because I think I sent it out. Planning commission, so
Go ahead.
Is the draft available at the office or online for?
it's not
Our review?
because we didn't, the only reason it came
The
back to planning
draft.
commission is they're part of the process, but we have not because we want the attorney to rubber stamp it before we put it out there, because if we put it out a draft and we know it's gonna get changed or potentially changed by the attorney, we didn't wanna start getting input from public on something that may not even be in there.
Okay,
So give us another week and we're gonna have that available.
okay, because I just feel like we can help you. We can make it more robust, or we can help you with some
We're looking
things.
for that. We're
Okay,
gonna look for that.
thank you.
It's the chicken and egg problem. It's when you start something, it's like, you know, when you get feedback and officially. So that's, you know, you started with the stuff, we've done the drafts. It's been iterative, process, and it's getting to the point now, okay, you need to see it, but it's one. The thing, if you have too many people in the public, seeing stuff when you first drafted something off the top, out of thin air. We've reviewed all the previous, we have reviewed many different versions of different townships and other communities.
Yeah.
And, it's part of the stuff to come up with what we have
Okay,
and stuff. So I know that's the thing when things first come out, people hear stuff and they're like, well, we need to see it. The intent
yeah,
is to let people see the stuff and get their input, but where do you start to get something worthwhile for them to then take a shot at?
okay,
It's a hot topic. You read the paper. There's townships within our county that are having some very heated discussions over it.
sure,
And I was traveling out of the country last month and been sitting in a little island in Greece, and they're telling me they got the same problem. They got foreigners buying up all their properties, and they have no place for teachers and
Yeah.
doctors to live in their own little community. And a little bit different than our situation, but the same.
similar.
Not entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah, very similar.
But,
We have, yeah.
so,
Okay, thanks, Jim.
yeah.
Septic system ordinance update. I had nothing. I don't know. I haven't heard from any committees or anything.
I missed the last meeting because I had a conflict of meet with the township treasurers. But they did meet last week. I don't know, nobody's probably talked to Jim, but I know we're getting closer in the septic committee. And I expect it won't be long and they're gonna give that to the steering committee to have them review it and then push it to the board, and then the board's gonna then push it to us. That sounds to me like the steering or the septic committee is trying to put together at least all the attributes that they believe should be in that document. I'm told that I don't think they necessarily need to write the document, but they are using, I think it's the Torch Lake one, I might be wrong, that they were using to get parts and pieces out of for a template. So I would be surprised if that hits the steering committee by the end of the year or next month. But again, I wasn't there last week, but I know that they're getting closer.
Lots of potential Christmas presents.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Jim, is the septic ordinance a part of the STR ordinance? Is it in there?
Now,
No?
the
Okay.
SDR will abide by whatever the septic ordinance, it does mention meeting the state requirements. So if we end up having a septic ordinance, the STR would have to abide, or should abide by that same thing.
Well, the STL, the septic ordinance is gonna be township wide.
Right.
Okay.
So it's specific to any,
Okay, so it's not specific, there's not a specific ordinance proposed for the STR then?
No.
Okay, thank you.
At least as it's written, it's not. It does reference to meet the standards that the township and the state has.
Right.
So if we change that, then that would change. But it's just, it means it has to apply the same as it would you and I.
I have a question on that too. So would the STR regulate the amount of people that could stay in that could rent for the weekend?
As it's written, which we didn't change from when the planning commission put that out, I believe it's 2 people per bedroom, is that right?
yeah, basically the ordinance does specify based on the property, the house size, how many bedrooms it has and so forth, how many people are allowed.
So then you'd be thinking that it doesn't need to, an ordinance doesn't need to be stronger for the STRs because they have so many more people using them. Right?
That's why the ordinance. The public comment hasn't been done yet because they're putting the initial drafts on those specifics. And then the intent is, once the thing is finalized, then you can make, right now, it's kind of,
Basically, the STR occupancy is based on the building codes and so forth, that kind of thing. You gotta have so many bedrooms, this and that.
but again, it's not the effect right now, so none of that stuff is like, whether it's 2 people per bedroom or 3, that hasn't been finalized yet.
But we would want input
But it will.
before it's
It has to.
finalized,
Yes, that's,
right?
But
Yeah.
you'll have.
We don't wanna wait till it's finalized.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be finalized till after input.
Okay,
so we'll be back.
we'll be there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll be here.
Good.
Okay, Tom.
Okay, new business. You must be
Hi, yeah, I'm Ben Crimis.
from Northern Lights.
Yep. Yeah.
Would you come on up and have a seat and
You spell your last name, please?
Yeah, it's KRYMIS. Thanks for having me in. Appreciate it.
MIS, but I'm getting.
Yes. I do a document, if I scan it out or,
we got, let me see what you got.
yeah, it's just, kind of an overview. I've never done a meeting like this, and then I've got a proposal and then a copy, which I'm sure you guys asked
Yeah,
about.
this will be this. We got.
I can make more copies. We need some unless you got.
Yeah, there's gonna be 12 minutes.
Okay, good. Yeah, that'd be great. For your first time, you're doing really good.
We appreciate copies, thank you. You're welcome. That's it. There you go. Yes, I didn't know exactly how this worked exactly, but I have an outline that I think would answer a lot of questions, or just, I can go over it, or.
Why don't we just walk through what you've provided?
Okay, yeah, so I'm the owner over there. The current layout is 58 full hookups. We have 7 water and electric sites, which we're putting in to have those be full hookup for the state too, and for the town, and 10 rustic sites currently. So the campground's been there for 75 years, pretty neat. I mean, town's like half that age, like 225 years, so it's been there a long time.
Yes.
My dad had it before I bought it off him. He had it for 5 years. I've had it for 3. This isn't an investment flip. It's a long-term family hold. Like, want to keep this thing forever and make it nice. The proposed improvements are adding 50 more modern full hookup sites, a new recreation building, a new bathhouse, a new playground, a pool is what we're aiming at. It's a nice area. A destination style type of experience to help boost everything. Community local impact, of course, we host people all over the country, so there's constantly people getting to experience like downtown, the village, the lake, everything through us, as well as all the local people that come in. A lot of tradesmen use our places for when they're doing work in the area, things like that. And then the meat and potatoes of it's the land, the setbacks, and the surroundings. So we've got 30 acres there. We have 2 drawings there. That's an initial sketch plan, so it's not very good, but I think it gives you an idea. And then the copy that I got from the town. But we're 30 acres, and it's essentially split up into 2 plots of 15 acres and 15 acres. And we're only using at the moment about 7 to 8 for the actual campground. The remaining, and I said that we have natural buffers all around, so we're DNR on 3 sides. We've got very sleepy tenants at the cemetery, and then, next door to that, we have 7 plots that are there, and 3 are occupied at the moment. I don't know what the plans are for building, if they're sold or anything like that. And with the setback rule of 100 feet, we can certainly almost quadruple that of like 500 feet. So we wouldn't even be near the residentials that are there. Right now, that's currently just this big, nature trail system that we have. Um. But yeah, I also think, I feel like a setback might be a big issue and we're closed for 7 months of the year in that area of it. And it'll be nice and wooded for all of the neighbors to see. So versus this would be, the other option would be something like a subdeveloped, and then their backyard would just be someone else's backyard, so. You can argue which one's maybe better or anything, but, we can provide an ample setback. And, it's a well-maintained campground, we've got great reviews, we take care of things, we want to keep improving it, making it better. This is definitely a first, like a baby first step to even see, like in collaboration, what you guys are even open to, what's the town interested in. If we go forward, there's a huge thing about, Eagles involved, civil engineering is involved, infrastructure, environmental, code compliances, multiple rounds of communication. Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty big project, essentially doubling the campground. And it's, our timeline is, zero rush. I expect if this even goes through, it'd be like 3 years, 4 years. Of a process, but. This step is just, I just wanted to just pop in here and just explore possibilities. No commitments, just see what everyone thought, and then. Then if you look inside of, on the drawing I made, an extra drawing. You'll see, I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward, but on the left-hand side, you'll see the existing campground. And that's, with our entrance up there off of cut. And what we're using there, we see our natural, or our current road systems inside of there. And then this is the proposed one where a lot of these roads are already in there, they're just not like, campers or anything on them. So we would basically just move around and then we would build another building in the center of it. And I will say this is just proposed, these things tend to change quite a bit once we get civil engineering. They're, this just happens to be the high part on this side, so. But that's it, yeah, and the big thing is the zoning. I think that part of the property has been, I haven't looked into it, but I'm under the inclination it's always been together. So I guess at some point it got zoned out. So that's just the big issue, is that whole second parcel would be, rezoned.
So Jason told you that they're split zones right now. Or
Yes,
the two properties are.
Yeah.
R2 and RR.
Yeah.
But. When I look at the zoning map. Yep, there's. They are two different. The RR is the one that borders Rodell, what the map shows. And the R2 matches Rolling Oak and everything north of that.
Topic here, Tom, am I reading this wrong? Because it looks like the R1, RR, R2 is not even, the way he drew that. Is to the east of that, this right here, what is that zone?
Did you get my email?
Oh, no, not.
That could be when you got one right there.
Well, I was trying to match this up to see what, that's what this is right here. His drawing doesn't touch, I think these two. Okay. Okay, so this right here is this right here.
It's just kind of that.
No, but this is this.
Yep.
And this is this.
Right.
Okay. All right, so that is, and that's R2.
We have to get a rezoning for them, right?
Well, that, I think we agree that your first step would get it rezoned. No point going further until you deal with that further. I was just thinking back, I'm looking at residential districts are. And it's to provide opportunities for low-density rural residential lifestyles and development patterns that encourage the preservation of open spaces and natural resources. And the township rural character, okay? While providing opportunities for agricultural, including timber, forestry management, conservation areas, outdoor resource-based uses. So what you're doing kind of fits that, okay?
I would think so, yeah.
The thing that might challenge that is the density. Because typically campground, their sites are pretty close to each other, right? So you look at R2, and the principal use of that is low density residential, medium density residential. Well, there's three different categories. Provide opportunities for single to family residences, development patterns of incrementally decreasing lot sizes, greater density, varying suburban and urban residential lifestyles, and meet varied housing needs of future residents. So to me, you kind of fall in between. I would bet that our designation's been on there for 75 years, or since zoning was implemented. And
Yeah,
that definition, I think, has changed over time.
I'm
would bet.
gonna plead ignorance because I've
Yeah.
been on the board just since I got elected a year ago, but, okay, so, the, campground. If it was starting fresh, going out tomorrow, and there's a lot of land, would it have to be zoned commercial, or would it, can it be on that type of property?
I'm not sure,
Campgrounds are allowed in rural conservation and rural residential.
allowed on our ordinance.
They are. Okay,
It's
so
a
this,
special, wait a minute,
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
it's a special use. But they are allowed in the rural residential,
so this is not
but they're not
a definition of
allowed.
non-conforming property as it where it is.
It's not, it's conforming.
It's conforming. So if he was to get the R2 changed to RR, which is kind of what I got out of the conversation I had with Jason, is that your step would be, you need to get that rezoned to be able to, you know, continue development on that property.
That's right.
So the short answer, I guess, is if it's zoned RR, you would qualify to be able to use that property as it is.
Right, he needs to get the R2 rezoned to RR.
Yeah, it's R2 now to RR. Yeah. And that's what the main thing I wanted to just have a conversation with, if that's something that the town wants to see. You know, I know you can't say if that's gonna happen or not, but I don't wanna engage in a. You know, a long and drawn out thing where. Nobody, doesn't really fit what the town's goals are, 'cause I know there's other things I can do. With the property, but.
Well, I think you're starting off on the right direction. Because you realize you've got a pretty substantial piece of property there, size-wise.
Mhm.
And it is heavily wooded, and you're pointing out that you want to more or less maintain that.
Yep.
And you're willing to have some pretty good setbacks. Because really the objection is gonna come from the R2 neighborhood, if there is any.
Yeah.
And, you know, the best way to blend two different uses together is distance. the more you can separate them.
Yeah.
The less argumentative you get over.
Yeah.
How they impact each other.
Yeah, and that's why I put a lot of considerations that, is that it's already, they're used to, if you have a nature trail in there. So all those neighbors are used to people walking through, walking their dogs and things like that, and that would pretty much stay exactly the same, because it's all closer. Right. To us. You know, and that the hill here gets kind of interesting because it kind of like that. You know, so you can't even see it over the hill, on some of these, it goes up pretty good.
How far away would you be from the residential?
My guess is about 500 feet.
Okay,
And we could probably even improve that.
that's very sizable.
And you got a hill between there?
For so, yeah, the hill goes like,
I mean, that could
north
be huge,
south,
so.
so it'll help, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you had like 100 feet or so, a hill can do a heck of a lot, just, yeah, the big thing at campgrounds I'm thinking of is, noise and stuff from them.
Yeah.
From the people, people walking their dogs and that kind of stuff is one thing, but people having their tents or their campers set up. And,
Yeah.
Talking to campfires and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what the thing, but.
Yeah.
My personal opinion, I'm for this kind of stuff. Keeping this area, we had somebody else come in that's looking kind of to do the same thing. Before, or they're trying to establish something like that, and I see that as a lot better than. Some other things that, could be done that, cut the trees down and, change the look and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're doing it, that's a thing where you're bringing people in. To me, it's always a question, I'm not somebody that wants to get super big and get thousands of people, because there's kind of a limit, and I think, we're stretching the stuff, but these kind of things right here, and keep the rustic stuff. I think is a positive thing.
Yeah, we love that campground with all the trees, and we do our aerial stuff, we do like the ground penetrating fertilizers, we do everything we can. So many trees have died, so we're pretty reluctant to take down anything that's alive. I don't think we have in 3 years, to be honest with you.
Rare.
Yeah.
Did, just in general, did Jason go over the whole site plan process and stuff with you?
No.
Okay,
No, we just don't hold on.
the standard, the sketch plan is just an opportunity for people to come forward without putting any application fee in or anything as formal. I mean, doing what you did here is even more than some people do. In the ordinance spells out all this stuff. We have a checklist we put together a while back, and we can get you a copy of that later. And basically, it takes all the different steps and stuff that's in the ordinance and kind of puts them down. It's a thing we use to go through with the site. And so there's a sketch plan, which is not mandatory. There's a preliminary site plan, and which you pay the fee, and then there's the regular final site plan review.
Okay.
And some of those things you could go, when you submit the stuff, you don't have to have necessarily 100% of the stuff done complete, for the preliminary stuff. But on that, it also talks about, here's the different inspections and ordinances. We've got it categorized, so we can get you a copy of that through Jason.
Would that have to be done before the?
Well, you could do both in parallel, but something like that, I'm thinking that you would probably want to go forth with the rezoning aspect first, because there's a lot of effort being talking about, development stuff. But if you have an idea, that can go a long ways to help get you, or maybe get it rezoned with the stuff. And here's the intent, and some plans I've got, and how far, just going up to somebody and saying, yeah, I got this idea, I want to do this, and here, without having done any other stuff or drawn out, or have some kind of sketch prepared. Yeah, maybe even, have a contractor, put together, something to say, hey, I'm serious about this. So it's been done in the past with different things, and it could be done. That. And then we got the master plan that's being reviewed right now, but we finished, we talked about the summer. And in that, it could be, there's the whole issue about what's the intent of the township, where do they want to focus, and maybe the zoning map is, adjusted for some areas. They say we want to develop more R stuff, or maybe more R2, or
Mhm.
there, so that can kind of go hand in hand, and that could, even like next summer, give you an idea.
Well, what I recommend is, like Mike was saying, I would draw something up similar to what you've already done. As neat as you can make it, okay?
Mhm.
That shows what you're proposing as an idea, show the setbacks that you think you would like to have.
Mhm.
And then, go for the rezoning. Because there's some public hearings involved and stuff, so the more you can show the public what you're planning and describe it like you did in your presentation, which is really good. We don't give them a real good lot.
Great.
So we appreciate it when we get one.
Thanks, yeah. That's important.
And I would, suggest we go for the rezoning and see how that goes.
Okay. So just a nice, a big preliminary drawing.
And the other thing I'd recommend you do is look in the zoning, Article 15, special land uses. That would be your next hurdle if you got the rezoning. Just so you understand that procedure and what you're going to have to provide.
Yeah.
And there's a public hearing involved with that stuff, so. It's a process, you're right. I'm glad to hear you don't want to start July, or
Yeah, that,
January or something.
Yeah, I mean, Eagle alone will be,
Yeah, I would imagine the septic, all that
Yeah.
stuff and water is
yeah,
a bit of a project.
And when we do the site plan reviews, if we go forward with this. Those things are on, some of those things you recognize that, they don't have to be, that some of the steps, like a preliminary review could be passed.
right,
And go on to the next phase, then even the site plan could be approved contingent upon. Some of those things, to be met,
get out of permits, yeah.
Yeah, and then also you don't have to do everything all at once. You can, in your plan propose, this is a phased approach, you would build, maybe a third of it or half of it at this time, and then kind of wait to see how things go later. Financially, or, you get the business and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's also stuff in the site plan that you don't, if you're developing stuff, you don't have to have this big grandiose thing that has to all be done right now. If you want to do it in a step process,
For sure.
this stuff allows there. And then I would give you a copy of this checklist stuff that you can use as a reference, just because several things are in different spots.
Mhm.
I don't have one right now with me, I didn't. But I mean, Jason can provide you with
Okay.
that, and I would,
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean,
What-
rezoning is-
but you could see the reason to get that ahead of time, whether you do the rezoning or not, it will give you an idea. Because it's all kind of put there, you kind of, I can look at here and.
Yeah.
You kind of help guide you through even the process, and I believe we're the rezoning. It has come through us, I think, for the rezoning too. Right, so.
Supposed to be planning board and another board for the rezone? Or just you?
there's rezoning
So,
have to be-
I think that's going to be township board, so
Eventually.
we would see it, I think, initially, and then we would make a recommendation to township board.
Okay.
And then there would probably be a public hearing.
Yeah.
They haven't had a zoning change since I've been on board, so I don't experience that. But we.
Well, like Mike said, you can phase it.
Yeah, the dollar, yeah.
Yeah, we were very good.
Yeah. It was about time I came on, yeah.
And keep in mind that you can change your mind too, as you go through the process, so don't get hung up in the minutia
Yeah,
at this stage. Just
Yeah.
want to let you know you have options.
yeah, and that
You're
was
not
one
gonna
of,
lock in there.
yeah, and that was one of the discussions too, is just kind of. Just seeing if, what the town planning board wants to see in that master plan, like with that space, the campground fits in, or I should be thinking about,
I think that
multifamily there or.
in general, I don't see a real issue.
Yeah. I think people love it, people love camping.
Yeah, been it for years.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I just, like I say, look at the whole picture, but focus on the rezoning at the moment.
Okay.
More detailed in a sketch plan type format.
Yeah.
the better, because the public will be looking at it.
Yeah.
And us.
Okay.
Make sure you have your setback, how many feet will be, Kevin. Fill out with that.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
And they're gonna ask
I'm gonna be
us-
prepared for that.
Yeah.
The size of your sites are, I mean, they'll come up with everything.
Yeah.
Question wise.
Of course, yeah, yeah, we'll have it all. Yeah, when we do it, we all want them all done by the folks, so.
You're off to a great start, though.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, we like to see this type of stuff, so just keep going with it.
cool. All right.
Greg, did you have any input?
I'm sorry, Tom, I'm having trouble even to get the audio to work. But I think I understand everything that was said, and I have nothing further to communicate other than the things that everybody's already talked about.
Okay, good, thanks.
Okay.
You all set?
All right, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for coming down.
Good night.
Don't be afraid to get a hold of Jason. You know,
Yeah.
questions, and
I'm sure
that's what he's there for.
it's been helpful.
Good, glad to hear it.
Okay, good night.
Take care. You just leave now, right?
Yeah.
You got it, Dave.
Under 7. Added item B. The Zimmeron extension for the storage units. A motion to approve the extension.
I could make it, I wasn't here when they first started, but I could.
But what I don't have is what I like to see is the verbiage we used last time. And then just use that same thing for the motion. And I think that was in May. I don't have those minutes with me.
I don't think it's that.
I don't think we have to
be exactly.
We could make the motion to approve it, and you can write it up to the manner that's gotta be. And I know you like to get them right on in here, but I think that the crux of it is that they need the extension, it needs to be done right now before it runs out, which is, I think, next month. So, I wasn't here when this first.
Neither was I,
came in.
neither was I, so.
But I don't have, there's some overwhelming reason why we should extend it, I would think we should.
Yeah, I'll just make a motion that we,
Yes.
extend,
Grant the extension
yeah, grant the extension.
as requested
As requested, yeah, there you go.
to May 14th, 2026 is what they're asking.
Okay, yeah, I'll get the official name of their company.
The parcel number and all that.
Yeah, yeah, and print it. Okay. I'll second that.
Okay, motion made second. Any further discussion? That's why I wanted the motion, because for the discussion part, but I think we got it. Everybody good?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Jim, did you have anything else? Oh, wait a minute, public comment? No, okay.
I think I covered everything that, I'm dealing with from the township perspective with the SDR and update.
Okay.
I think we're gonna have plenty to do coming after the first of the year with the master plan, and I expect the septic ordinance will be attached to us sometime the first of the year, I guess.
Another busy year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the next regular meeting is January 8th. Depending on the survey and stuff, there might be a question there, we might have to shift that, but for now, just plan on the 8th. And I'll get with McKenna and make sure they got their dates right.
Are you gonna be here if you're heading to Florida?
That was my next thing, is I'm going, I won't be here.
I won't be.
Let Greg over there and keep seeing.
I will be out, I'll be in Louisville, for the whole week,
Oh, January?
So like the 15th.
It will be, that I'll be here.
And we could wait and play that by you.
Because we need to have a one,
Right.
You need 4, right?
Yeah, for, and that's that nobody's sick or hurting off or whatever.
Will come in and take them for a team.
But what it's what to do in, again, just reminder, January is.
Elections.
Yeah, the elections again, and then to reset the agenda for the year.
Anybody's not here gets elected. Automatically.
Well, I was gonna volunteer that if anybody, you know.
I mean, the only reason we might do it, right, is McKenna live there, right, when the survey gets in, we might want the, look at the result for. Or,
I guess Tom needs to talk to them, find out if they might have, I mean, if they close that on the 9th, but they already compiled that stuff, this is all electronic, but other than the ones that get mailed in and they'll put that thing there. They'll be able to give us a.
90% thing.
Yeah, I
that's
just
fine.
expect that, but that's up, that's a whole, I would leave that up to them, if they say, hey, you need to move this. Move it. You know, I don't have a problem the following week, then we'd have that here anyways.
Okay.
I'll check out and let you know what's going on. But again, if somebody wants to be chairperson,
I hope I already know.
you do it.
Oh.
Until you don't. I don't mind, so it's just. Saying, okay,
Okay, you're staying in my chair.
Fine.
I'm not willing to stand second.
It'll be fast.
okay, so I have nothing else.
Okay, I make a motion to adjourn. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion
Yeah.
carries.
That's-
Thank you, Greg.